It's like most things in life, though. It's not what you do. It's not what you've got. It's what you do with it. And I've seen agents who've bought the license for a year, which I think is it still £1,200?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Who have not done anything with it, and some that have done absolutely fantastically with it. Have you got any tips for anyone who's going to be in the guide to actually get the value for money?
This year we've developed it so it's not just at branch level. We've also done it at brand level. So therefore,
what made you do that?
Because we were in a situation where we realised that we'd made a mistake in only doing it at branch level. That agents wanted to be able to market not only those branches that were in the guide, they wanted to market their overall attainment level. And so we took the view of saying, okay, let's average it out and see what happens. And of course, for those agents who are exceptional right across the piece, they have the chance to be, to win the overall award as well. So the idea was we would look at each branch score, we aggregate them together and create a brand score. I use the word brand because some businesses have more than one brand. So we're using that term. And it enables us to therefore offer up different license options to people so they can either pick a branch license or they can pick a brand license. And so it works on that basis.
What tips have you got though for agents who are going to appear in the guide, because you have published the shortlist, which if you don't mind me saying, I thought was a sublime idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Which are they the top 20% in the shortlist?
No, gosh no, I wish. No, top 5%. Less than 5%. And this is the other thing that we need to make.
All right, so you still could be a winner even if you're not in the shortlist.
Correct.
You could be in the 20%.
Correct. Absolutely. That was
Again, I didn't know that.
No, and we've not communicated it well, Chris. It's cobbler's shoes, I'm afraid. We've really not done a great job. And I used to run a marketing agency, which is really embarrassing. Now, look, the shortlist that we announced a couple of weeks ago is for the brands. And it's actually less than 5% of all estate agency brands in the country. Basically, we said, what's the best 5%, right? And we did it by size band and by geography. So what's the best 5% single offices in the North East? What are the top 5% small offices in the North East? What's the top?
So they already know they're going to be in that exceptional band.
Absolutely, for their brands. Now for the branches, we will be launching next week. So by the time this is published, it will be out there. We're actually going to have on our website a branch checker and a brand checker. So everybody can go in, just type in their name, and they can see whether they're in the guide or not. They won't know whether they're highly rated excellent or exceptional until the EA Masters event on the 12th of October. But they will know in advance, right, whether or not they're there. The brands that we've published on the shortlist are all in the top 5% in the country.
Well, that's great news, because if you're going to be being able to go onto that website and see if your name's there and you're in the top 20%, then you can bring your team along to the event. And I was there last year. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
And again, obviously from a commercial perspective,
learned so much, by the way.
Well, that's this year. I mean, I'll if you like me to, I'll put up what we're doing this year. But well, I want to just make this one point from the commercials, because there's a lot of noise around the commercials on all these things. But no one has to come right to the event to be in it. There's no pressure to come to the event. If though people see the value of giving their team a fantastic boost to be recognised as one of the top 5% businesses in an industry that is massively attacked from all quarters unjustifiably, then I feel that's a great thing to do. But if somebody doesn't, if somebody wants to say, oh, it's too much, it's 300 quid for a ticket and blah blah blah, okay, fine, don't come. It's not a problem.
You'll still be in the guide though.
100%, and even if you don't pay the license fee, you're still in the guide. If you buy a license fee, you get an upgrade in the guide, and you also get the ability to market it across all of your different platforms. And so your earlier question, what would I recommend people do? Fundamentally, if it's something which the consumer is going to see in her assessment of you as an estate agent, then for me, an independent assessment accreditation that's come from the Property Academy and from Rightmove, I think has got massive credibility for that agent to be able to say, it's not me saying I'm number one, it's actually this assessment that's saying I'm number one, and therefore to market it in appropriate ways. And there's been so many examples of agents who have done this, and I've had so many reports from agents that they've been able to increase fees, increase market share, massive morale boosts. And the one bit which was really surprising, we didn't expect to get feedback on, we have had, is that from a recruitment perspective, it's been really, really advantageous. Unsolicited inquiries about jobs from other agents to say, I saw that you've done really well. Have you got any jobs going?
Didn't think of that.
No, did we. And I've had a couple of people in particular say to me, that's been one of the biggest benefits they didn't realise they were going to get.
Well, it's all about differentiating yourself, and there's nothing better than a third party, because we're all into this TripAdvisor and reviews. This is independent. Yeah. It's not been voted on by some bigwigs in London or Mates Club.
Yeah.
This is hard fact. And if you've had a bad day on the mystery shopper, well, I think, that video you did with Property Industry, and we'll put a link to it because I think it was an amazing video. Is if you're having a bad day, so what?
Yeah.
The client doesn't want you to have don't care whether you're having a bad day.
Look, I fully accept, Chris. I fully accept that our event, our awards, as with every other, has potential flaws to them. I don't think there's a single awards event ever created. The Oscars has flaws to them. Cracky, they even announce the wrong winners sometimes.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, what we strive to do is to get it as right as we possibly can. And each year with the Sunday Times Awards, every year we reviewed and improved. From last year, we reviewed a lot. I personally went out and spoke with over 100 different agents, actually physically met them, to find out what we could do better, how it could improve. Rightmove similarly did the same with a large number of their members. We gathered all the feedback, we took it all on board as appropriate, and we've changed a number of things. So let me give you one big example. We didn't feel that market share was actually that important from the consumer's perspective. Ultimately, all she's concerned about is selling her property or letting her property, right? So, but actually, the consumer does care to a degree insofar as they like to see evidence that properties similar to theirs have been let or sold. So it's one of the criteria. It's not, by the way, the most important determining criteria factor of all. And again, we could debate at what point is market share or how much market share does somebody need to have, and we could debate that. But
so it's one of many questions.
Exactly. There's about a dozen or so key pieces of data, right, which we've assessed, plus the mystery shop, and one of those is market share. But it is only one of the factors, and things like performance of did it sell or let, and how long did it take in comparison to other properties in the same locality. Those things are actually worth substantially more. And we've been able to look at all sorts of other things, such as the quality of the marketing, and we can do that through things like the click-through rates. So if a property is well priced, if a property is well presented, it should attract a large number of viewings. If it doesn't, there'll be exceptions, but broadly, if a property doesn't get large numbers of click-throughs, it's because it's been incorrectly priced or poorly promoted or both. So again, on a location-by-location basis, we're able to determine. And by the way, I didn't get the individual data for an agent. I just got a score, and in fact, I only got an aggregated score.
That's a shame, because I was about to ask you if there's any trends that you're seeing around the country.
Well, we are going to report on it. In fact, at the EA Masters event, Rightmove are actually going to talk about what they've found as a consequence of this initiative, what they've seen, and their talk is actually going to be about the difference between the average and the exceptional estate agent. And Chris, I've said it before, and some of your viewers may have heard me say this before, but I'm going to repeat it. It's about doing the ordinary things extraordinarily well. That's it. It's the ordinary things extraordinarily well. You do not have to have some sort of magic formula. By the way, it doesn't exist, or I'm not aware of it. You just need to do the ordinary things really, really well. So you need to answer the phones. You need to reply to emails. You need to be helpful to people. You need to give them good quality advice based on their circumstances. You need to be able to guide them through the process, and all the stuff that the very best estate agents do day in and day out. So the great estate agents just do the good things consistently well, rinse and repeat, and as a consequence, they're going to be recognised.